Hey everybody, this is Paratroopa. I am making a beginner's tutorial here for the big 2015 goal for Zelda 2, which is to beat Palace 1 and Palace 2. I've been seeing that people have been having a lot of trouble with this goal. This is a really challenging game, and there's absolutely no shame in having trouble with this game. So I'm going to do a little beginner's tutorial here, just kind of go over all of the things that all of the tips and tricks for each segment of this game that I can think of that will help get through this goal as safely as possible without losing too much time. Obviously, you can just kind of play this game like for hours and just grind for levels and do it that way, but I think we could do a little bit better than that. So yeah, I'm just going to kind of go over everything here. I've been speedrunning Zelda 2 for a little bit myself. I'm not one of the better speedrunners, but I've done a lot of Zelda 2 randomizer. That's kind of my thing, so I'm very used to looking for different ways to tackle different situations. I've gotten over this goal a few times and looked through some different strategies that you can use for each room. So let's get started here. I'm just going to do kind of not going to do a run here right away. We're just going to start here. So the first thing that I want to talk about in this game is encounters. So as long as you're on a road tile here on the overworld, there will be no monster spawns. This is a safe place. But the counter for how long it takes for an encounter to spawn is still running up as long as you're on this road. So as soon as I step off to this grass tile, there will be monsters spawning, like that. You can try to run away from them. As long as you're on a road, if you get into an encounter, you don't have to fight anything. You just get to this screen, you can walk away right away. That's obviously much faster and much safer. So if you can stick to the roads and try to get these encounters on roads when you can, that's a lot better. Also, the other thing here is that on grass tiles and desert tiles, the monsters will spawn further away from you when they appear. As you can see there, they're pretty far away. They're easy to dodge. If you're in a forest tile, they will spawn much closer. So if I just walk around, see, yeah, they spawn like super close there. Sometimes you'll get fairies to spawn after a few cycles. They're pretty rare, so I wouldn't rely on them too much. As you can see, the little slime guys are minor encounters, and the bigger guys are major encounters. The minor encounters, the little slimes, are almost always safer and easier to deal with. So if you are going to get into an encounter, you should make it one of these slime guys, basically. But we want to avoid encounters as much as possible. And so one of the cool things about this game, we'll just up in it here. That's actually, I should talk about that first of all. If you haven't already done this, either if you're playing on real hardware, plug in a second controller. If you're playing on emulator, go ahead and bind. Actually, I just thought about this. I have to bind something here. But bind up at A on the second controller to whatever buttons you want to use, and then tap those two buttons, and you'll just reset. You'll go back to the continue screen. You'll be able to start from the start of the game. We'll be doing that a few times here because up and A is allowed in this category. I'm gonna bind real quick. I'm gonna bind save states here to better buttons than the ones I assigned them to, because I assigned them to my up and A buttons without thinking about it. So let's do that, because I will use a bunch of save states here just so we can look at some rooms a few times. Yeah, so we're gonna up an A here. So a cool thing about this game is that we can kind of manipulate the RNG from the start of the game. When you start from the file screen or from the continue screen like we are here, the RNG seed will always be set to the exact same place at the very beginning. So as long as you move from the start with frame precision, you will always get the same encounters on the overworld. They'll always spawn in the exact same places. So if you know which way to walk, you'll avoid encounters in at least this first area. Once you've gone through a cave and like have done some fighting, then all bets are off. I can't help you after that. But just to quickly look and see how you can get through avoid encounters here. First of all, start off holding to the right on that live screen. Just hold to the right here, hold to the right, hold to the right. Now if we keep going right, we will avoid any encounters here. You can either split, go south to that town, or you can just go up like this, and then right like this, and then go into the cave. You will always avoid encounters if you do that perfectly. You can buffer inputs when you're walking on the overworld, so go ahead and do that. we'll talk about this cave in a moment, but I just want to show here that if you've moved to this cave without losing any frames, you can always walk right here. This will always be a back spawn, then we can either go up to the palace or down here and get this heart container. But we'll do that in a second. To show you the other paths that you can take here. If you want to go up towards Trophy Cave or west towards the rest of this part, then you'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, turn left, then turn right here, and you can get right to that cave. Or if you want to go south towards the Magic Cave, which we will do soon, then you'll go like this, turn down here, turn left, just follow this path down here underneath the water, turn down here, you'll avoid encounters every time. Those are all really free, really easy to do, so I suggest that you learn those, and you'll mostly be able to avoid encounters in the overworld. But again, once you're in the southern part of the overworld, I can't help you there. You won't be able to manipulate RNG anymore to avoid encounters there, sadly. So let's kind of go. I'm going to go get into a combat here and talk a little bit about the combat basics. So we'll actually just walk in here and get an encounter on purpose. Let's take this. I want to take a minor one here. It's just kind of easy with the bots. I don't want to take a strong encounter. This moblins will be kind of annoying to talk about. Come on. Oh, there's the fairy spawn. That's interesting. Alright, so, Zelda 2 is a really hard game, but one of the things that's nice about it is that Link does have, I would say, very good movement range. He's pretty easy to control. If you play this game for a little bit, you'll probably find that he's pretty intuitive to control. But I do want to talk about his attacks here. So Link has, I would say, basically 4 attacks that we can do, at least in this goal. His basic attack is like this overhead swing. It's very chunky and has a little bit of a wind-up. You can see that it kind of stops his movement when he swings, and there's a little bit of a wind-up. Not too much. There's a little bit of a wind-down time, too. It has pretty good range. You can see it extends about a tile in front of him. You can also crouch stab, though, and that's a little bit quicker. His sword comes out much faster. It actually has the same range as his overhead swing, but it's just a little bit faster. So you'll probably find that the crouch stab is generally a little bit more consistent in a lot of fights in this game. But it's kind of up to you. Whatever rhythm you prefer in these swings, it's not too much of a difference. They come out at about the same speed. The overhead swing just has a little bit more of a wind-up. The other 2 things you can do here, and these are going to be really important to learn, are jumping and attack at the same time. You can do this. If you just jump and attack, you kind of just swing in the air, and you don't really lose momentum or anything. And not losing momentum there is going to help us a lot against certain enemies. So I just kind of get used to that a little bit. But even more importantly is the flying crouch stab. This is a really good technique for attacking enemies that are at waist height, without having to lose speed from standing there and stabbing. This is going to be helpful for certain enemies in this game, so I'd really try to learn this. So just, kind of jump. And also, if you're jumping like this, if you stop holding forward, you'll still keep your momentum for at least the first jump. You'll eventually lose your momentum here, but... so in the air, just hold down and attack, and you'll do that crouch stab in the air. It's pretty simple to do, but I just play around with it a little bit, get used to it. That's going to be really important later, so I wanted to kind of go over those basics. It's basic, but we'll come back to these fundamentals later. So I'm going to restart here, and start talking about routing here. So the first thing that we're going to do, and almost all of these safety things are going to be optional, so you can kind of pick and choose what you want to do in this game based on how much you decide that you need it. But we're going to get some early safety things here before we start going to the first palace of the game. So the first thing we can do is go into this woods tile here. Don't even worry about taking these hits. Just grab the P bag, and you'll see this live screen come up, this level up screen, and go ahead and take level 2. And then you can just leave. And then from here, we're going to go travel south. You can do this in any order. You can either go to this forest tile first. That's a mistake. I shouldn't have walked there. Ignore that. We're just going to duck out of here. Follow this road down to the town. You can do the town first and the wood tile after that. But I would do the woods tile first and then go to town here. As you can see, this is the town of... We'll check it out here. Welcome to Raru. There's really only two things of note here, and really only this one's going to be important. You can just ignore all these townspeople. They'll give you hints, but you don't need to know them. I'll tell you everything you need to do here. There is a health refill, though. This woman in the red dress here, if you talk to her, you don't have to listen to her. You can just skip all these text boxes. That will refill your health if you need it. You probably won't, though. We will up an A out of here and get our life back that way. But I just wanted to point it out just in case you do need it. This woman in the purple dress is who we really want to talk to. She says, talk to my father before you go. So we go in here, go downstairs, and we look at the shield spell. This is completely optional. You do not need this to beat this category or indeed the entire game. But you do have to listen to this guy's text box, by the way. You can't skip this. But getting the shield spell here is going to help us extremely with survival. And unless you're quite experienced with this category, I would just do this. This costs about 45 seconds to a minute to get this. But it is going to be worthwhile if this will help you avoid deaths. It's absolutely worthwhile to get this. This is the last thing I would cut from this run if you don't know what you're doing yet. So after you get shield here, we can just up an A. It's going to be a little bit faster than walking out of town. So just go ahead, head up A. You keep in mind that you regain all your lives and your health and magic when you up A, but you will lose your experience. But that's not going to matter too much in this run here. I'm not going to recommend that you up an A at any times where losing experience would be a problem, but it's just something to keep in mind, just so that you know, just in case you do have experience that you want to keep. So with those two safety things, there are some more things that you could do in the overworld here at this part, but we're going to save that for after we get the candle. I kind of did my walking badly, though. By the way, I wasn't paying attention, but you can avoid that encounter. So we're going to go in here. This first cave is dark. We have to navigate it in the dark, but there's only one enemy, and I'll show you where he is. It's this little guy here. You can just barely see his black pixels crawling along the floor here. It's pretty hard to see, but if you pay really close attention, you can see him. He will charge at you if he sees you and you're on his level. So you can kind of see those little black pixels wiggling. And now he's walking to the left, walking to the left, wiggle a little to the right, walking left. So you can just stab this guy, or you can just jump over him pretty easily. I should have done a save state here, but I'll walk out of this room real quick and just kind of show you. Sometimes this guy is closer to the place where you have to jump over him, then I guess is he gone? Whatever. Anyway, you can just jump over him. He shouldn't be a problem. If you need to stab him, you can stab him. Now, for safety's purposes, you don't have to get this encounter normally, but I kind of messed up. You should be able to avoid this. If you do have to fight those guys in here, this desert, you just stab them and they come down and you can stab them in the head. I'll just go over that real quick. You shouldn't have to fight these guys, though. Just stab, wait for them to come down, stab them in the head, they're dead. Yeah. But you probably won't run into these guys and they don't come up later. Anyway, so let's go south here. This is going to take us to a heart container, which I would strongly recommend getting. Now this room is a little bit tricky. Even for an experienced player, this is kind of non-trivial because these bubbles could be a little bit of pain. Just try to watch where they're coming up from. Take it nice and slow. When you jump, like, yeah, see, we let that bubble pass. We're good. But sometimes those bubbles can be really random. And you just kind of have to watch and wait for them to pass by. Oops. So the heart container is normally on this grass tile, but if you get an encounter here, you won't go to the screen that has the grass tile. And unfortunately, this is a really difficult encounter, so I died. That's okay, though. If you die here, don't worry about it too much. We're just going to try to run out of this encounter, so if you just jump over that guy, you can kind of damage yourself out of it. Here's where we really want to be. We want to grab this heart container and then up an A. It's not faster to up an A, it's a little bit slower here, but I figure that if you want to take this as safely as possible, it's probably best to just up an A here, and I'm doing this wrong again, just force a habit. It's just better to up an A here and go back through this cave. So again, we're going to see this guy. We're going to watch for his little black pixels. And we're just going to jump over him. See, easy. He's the only guy there. He's not dangerous. Don't worry about him. So now that we have our heart container and we have the 50p bag for life 2. Again, this encounter should not be required, but I messed up my routing a little bit. We'll do that better on the actual run-through. I will do a run-through of this game with the route that I'm showing here. but I'm going to just go through everything point by point first, and then I'll put it all together at the end. So once you got our checklist here, we've got life 2, as you can see at the top. We have shield, and we have the heart container, the 5th heart bar at the life there. So that's everything that we should have going to Palace 1. There is also optionally a magic container, but I'm actually going to get that afterwards because it's in a dark cave. And it's a pretty easy dark cave to learn, but I think that the benefits of getting that magic container for Palace 1 are pretty marginal. You can also get the jump spell before this, but that doesn't really do us any good here, so I'm just skipping that for now. So Palace 1. Palace 1 is mostly pretty simple, except for the Iron Knuckles, which are everyone's favorite enemy, and we'll talk about them when we get there. So first we're going to go left here. There's going to be a key door to the right, and we're going to need a key here. Let's talk about these guys here. These guys, try not to hit them, because you lose 10 XP if you do. And they don't gain any, they don't give any XP. They just kind of infinitely spawn here. There's a few ways that we could deal with them. We can just kind of stand here and stab them. That's a little bit slow, though. It's faster to kind of do a flying crouch stab here. If you get into a rhythm here, it's not too hard to learn how to do this. You can also just jump over them, but it's a little bit harder to do that. It's not that bad, but you did see I got hit there because I kind of messed it up. But you can just jump over them if you want. But I think it's personally just easier to kind of flying crouch stab, and I'll just take care of them. Just boop, boop. You can walk around here, kind of get used to that, but I think this is pretty easy. So we're gonna go left here. This room, so these bots, this is our first encounter with bots here, and they are terrible. These guys could basically do whatever they want. The RNG here, this is the first point of RNG in the run. These guys can sometimes will just charge you immediately as soon as you run into this room. And sometimes they'll just kind of like juke you and then charge. Sometimes they'll just head left and ignore you completely. Like it's random. But sometimes you'll run left here and you'll actually get hit if they decide to, like, yeah, that guy was about to go, man. He was about to go. He didn't. So if you stay there, you can stand there if you think that they're gonna come and stab them. We're gonna ignore this guy and hand him on the way back. There's gonna be a guy that comes east here. Get this key. The skeleton, the Stalfos won't have despawned, but he's pretty easy to kill. Like, you just kind of have to down stab, like crouch and then stab, hit him 4 times. He won't move his shield or anything. He's pretty simple to kill. He won't jump over your head. He just kind of walks towards you, and you just kind of stab under his shield, and he'll die. If you can't kill that guy, you're gonna have problems with the Iron Knuckles later. So now we have our key in hand. We're gonna go right here. Stab more of these guys. Open this key door. Stab more of these guys. Just run right, and you can just avoid that bubble. We'll talk about bubbles later. But for now, let's just keep going here. This room has a couple of Stalfos that drop down, but they're pretty simple. Again, just stab them. This elevator will go down towards Candle. If you're gonna skip Candle, you don't go down this elevator. But we're gonna assume that you're gonna want to get the Candle here. If you're just starting out doing this game, you want to try to beat it as reliably as possible. Going down here, we have to come back here anyway because we don't have the key to go down there and get the Candle. But so no matter what you do, we're gonna go right here. Kill another Stalfos. I just got to 100 experience. We're going to skip magic level ups, at least for now, possibly until the end of the game. We don't really need them in this run. Getting to the end at Magic 1 is perfectly fine. There are some strategies that I could recommend that get Magic 2 or even Magic 3 later, but for now we're going to skip Magic 1. So this is a good time to talk about leveling here. At the end of Palace 1, we're going to come out of here at levels 3, 1, 2. That's the plan. So what you're going to do here is skip this level, and then once we get it to the next tier, which is 150 for life there, we're going to skip that too. Now, you might be thinking that getting life 3 would be really good, since that's an increase in defense. Just a quick primer of what these stats do. Attack is more damage, obviously. Magic will make spells cost less. by a fixed amount that's determined by a table. And then life is a defense increase. You'll take less damage from hits. You might think that taking life 3 would be really good here because you'll take less damage and you got there and you just want to take that life up and be like, yeah, I've got level 3. But trust me, you do not want to do that. You really want to hold out for attack 2 and attack 3, even if that life up looks really juicy. Trust me on this, it is easier that way and not just faster. So we're going to cancel out this level up. We will hit level life 3 here pretty soon. We're going to cancel out of that too. We want to hold out for attack 2. So we went up this, by the way, I just went up this elevator, but I want to show that down here to the right here, there is a ferry. It is a one-time use per continue, not per life. So once you pick this up, it won't appear again. So we're probably going to hold on to it until after we get the candle, I would suggest, probably. You probably won't be too low on health at this point. But if you are, you can just go over and grab it at any time. That's not a big deal. That's there, though. We're going to go up here. This room's fairly simple. We're going to have more of these wolfmen coming to the left here. Let's go check this. No, okay. There is one of those. We'll have a magic jar later. Get this key. Attack the spot. I kind of took a hit stupidly here. So we're going to come up to our first Gooma. These guys are a little bit tricky. Don't run in here. If I ran in there, I would have gotten hit. Wait for him to throw about 7 of these maces, and then there will be a gap in there. You can just run in there. Kind of just stab him a bunch, and he will die. This is life 3. As you can see, I can't get attack 2 yet. So we're just going to cancel out of that. Get the key here. If you really need magic, I could have used shield here at the start of this room, but I forgot to. But you should do that because at the end of this room, you can stab this statue here in the shield, and it'll give you a magic jar every time. That will refill your magic completely. That'll just appear once per life. So once you're done here, once we got these 2 keys that we came up here for, we can leave. And we're going to backtrack and go towards the candle now. Because again, I think that it's best to just get candle until you have more experience. You can drop things from this route as you've become more comfortable with it and you want to save more time. But for now, we're going to come down here. We're going to go backtrack here towards the west. And go down that elevator that we skipped before. So let's talk about bubbles real quick. These guys will respawn indefinitely, even if you kill them. Killing them is possible, actually, but it takes a lot of hits. At attack 1, I think it takes like 64 hits or something stupid like that. So you can just stand here and attack this thing forever, but it will take a long time to kill. They will give you 50 experience if you kill them, which is quite a bit. So you can, in theory, grind off of these guys because they will respawn. But I don't recommend doing that because it will take a really, really long time. As far as kind of avoiding them goes, you can see that they kind of fly in this predictable diagonal pattern. If they hit you, they will take a little bit of magic away, so keep that in mind. The easiest way to deal with them is to hit them, and while they're stunned like that, while they're not moving, you could walk through them. And that's we're gonna keep that in mind because we're gonna come into a room here that has 4 of these bubbles. And I'm going to try to show like the correct way to avoid them, but it's going to be kind of difficult, and if you run into them a few times, it's not a big deal. It's this room here. It has 4 bubbles in it. I'm going to try to do this correctly. I don't usually come into this room. So you can kind of... Okay, I already did it wrong. See, kind of stabbed us. I still got hit. That guy bounced weird. He doesn't usually bounce like that. Let's see, I can stab them. Got through there. Okay. This room... So at the end of this bridge, there is going to be a pea bag, and you don't need it, but you can grab it. It's pretty easy to get. Just kind of walk or jump across the bridge, quickly stab, and then kind of jump out of it to avoid falling into the pit. It's probably the best. We are going to take attack 2 here. And after this, we're going to keep canceling out of our levels until we're past the 150 mark. Even if it looks like you're wasting a lot of experience, and it will look like that, do not give in the temptation of taking Magic 2 or Life 3. If you do get a 200 P bag to drop from one of these big enemies, it might be possible to take Magic 2, I'd have to look into that. I'm not actually certain about that. But I would just avoid doing it. You really don't need it that badly, especially not in Palace 1 here. I would just hold the line and just stick with the plan. And do not take life 3. If you take life 3, you will not be able to get attack 3 at the end of this palace, and you do not want that. Trust me. Okay, so this room is the first really hard room of the game. This is going to be our first Iron Knuckle, and we're going to talk about him a lot. So I'm actually going to make sure I do a save state correctly here. Hang on. Okay, good. Okay, good. I got my save state buttons loaded here. So, first thing we're going to do here is we're going to cast Shield. This is a great place to use Shield. Because you're probably going to take a couple hits from this Iron Knuckle. If you don't, good for you, and you'll probably do a lot better if you are able to do that. So first we have this Guma. Again, just wait for him to throw 7 maces, and then there'll be an opening you can run through. If you're really good, you can get through earlier than that, but I wouldn't worry about it. Just take the nice opening. He'll run around and jump sometimes. Okay, so here's the thing. Every time you kill 6 of the big enemies, which are Gumas, Stalfos, and Iron Knuckles in this goal, every 6 enemies, you have a 50-50 chance of getting either a red magic jar or a 200 P bag. We got the 200 P bag here. And again, you might be able to go magic 2 here. But I'm not going to do it for this. I'm just going to skip over these 2 levels and stay the course. But yeah, you can either get a red magic jar or a 200 P bag. It's 50-50 chance either way. There's no way to, like... There's no way to manipulate that or anything. Okay, so coming up here, we're going to see our first Iron Knuckle. He's going to charge at us. So there's a few ways we could try to kill this guy. I'm going to save a state here. The intended way to fight this guy is just stand your ground and just kind of like try to get around his shield here. This is bad. Don't do this. This sucks. This is a bad way to fight him. It is possible, as I just showed there. But it won't work against Red Iron Knuckles. They are much faster about blocking you, and I have no idea how to fight them that way. So don't do that. The 2 ways to fight him, like, the 2 easiest ways to fight him are to do jumping stabs. Method number 1 is to kind of do this jumping overhead stab here. So you kind of see that you start your swing as you're falling, kind of, and you'll kind of hit him in the forehead, and it'll just hit him every time. This is the way that most people do this. I have an alternate way that I do that I'm going to show in a second. But see, as this is pretty... Once you get into the rhythm of it, once you kind of figure out the cadence, you'll just hit him every time. Just kind of goes past his shield in a way that standing on the ground doesn't. Just kind of trying to hit him in the visor there. Hit him in the visor or the forehead, or even kind of above his head a little bit. Almost works. Just kind of, you're falling into him and just hitting him with your sword as you drop. You can kind of do it with more speed and more rhythm here to kind of push him back, or you could just kind of stand here and do it like this without moving that much at all. Up to you. The other way is to do flying crouch stabs, and that's what I like to do personally. It's more likely to kind of bounce off his shield, and it's a little bit, as you can see, the hitbox is a little bit finickier, but you can also kind of do it with more speed there. So you can do it kind of either way. I really find this consistent. When you do the flying crouch stab into this guy, you'll kind of want to try to hit him in either the visor or kind of the shoulder area. As you can kind of see, like, I'm just kind of hitting him in the body here. But as you can see, as you get to learn it, like, it's pretty consistent. And I can really push him back fast when I do this. Although you could do this at full speed too. This also pushes him back really fast. Either way, pick whichever one's your favorite. There's really no better... There's no superior method here. They both work basically equally. But kind of mess around with it and see what works for you. That's going to be the easiest way to kill Iron Knuckle. There isn't really any other other option. You could lure this guy all the way to the right and then jump over him. But you're going to have to fight him on the way out of this room anyway, so it's kind of moot. It's going to be really hard to jump over him like that. I don't even know if I can do it. Yeah, it's tough. You get a full running start. Nah. Like, it sometimes works, but, like, I don't know what makes it consistent. So, you really can't jump over this guy. You can try to damage boost through him, but it's going to be really hard. I don't recommend it. So that's Iron Knuckles in a nutshell. There will be red ones later that have more health and are a little bit faster. We'll talk about those guys later. So get the candle here, and if after you get the candle, you could up an A here if you want. You will start at the beginning of the game again. You'll have to walk all the way back to Palace 1, but that will reset your lives. If you do happen to be running out of lives at that point, you could do that. That's an option. But normally you won't do that. That is much slower because you'll have to walk all the way back to P1. The faster way is to just walk out of here like normal. And that way we'll keep our experience too. So we're going to backtrack out of here. This bubble room on the way out, the bubbles will be back, and but it's much easier to get out of it coming back. Because they'll kind of mostly move out of your way on the way back here. Careful, these bots can kind of just... Again, they're very random. They might try to move right here. Yeah, like that. So this fast one didn't get in my way. Normally it does, but it just kind of didn't that time. I don't know. That's strange. I actually kind of want to show that real quick. So I forgot to save state here, so let's... I had a point that I wanted to make, but that bubble totally undermined it. Very annoying. So let's make a save state here, and then I'll make another save state when we get back there. Jump over these guys. That's the fast way to do it. Or you can just fight them, if that's your speed. Oh, see? They always do that. I mean, I'll just save state here, that's fine. I lost a life, that's okay. Okay, that time he decided to jump out the way. Okay, so this room with this fast bubble here. If he bounces this way, okay. You can kind of wait and then jump back and stab him like that. That'll stun him. The rest of the room is easy. That move is a little bit finicky to pull off. If you get hit, it's not a big deal. So we're going to go back to the right here, now that we've got our candle. I just took a death, so my health is full. But if I hadn't taken that death, I would have grabbed this fairy here. Boop. I'm not going to come back for that, so... I'm going to go down here. If you have shield here, I would cast it. So I'm going to open the menu, hit select. Now we're shielded up. This guy is a little bit tricky because this lowest ceiling here. This low ceiling here kind of obviously hinders your progress. So you kind of have to do these jumping stabs, or you can do kind of crouch stabs here too. Here's the crouch stab method. Just kind of run at him. Be like bam, 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 bam. You know, with these crouch stabs, don't be afraid to get really aggressive here. Just go full speed into him and just hit your sword while holding down, and you'll just kind of hit him most of the time. Sometimes they'll block, but usually no. Or again, you could do the jumping stab here, where you don't crouch. That might be a little bit more consistent with this low ceiling, in my opinion. While I normally do the crouch stabs here, I like to do these jumping stabs. The full overhead swing with this low ceiling. Let's see, are there any other ways to fight this guy? Can you, like, kite him over? Nah, he won't come all the way. You could try to damage boost through him. Like, if you really want to. See, it's hard, though. Like, as you can see, I'd made it, but I took a lot of damage in the process with shield up. So I wouldn't do that. I would try to learn how to fight this guy so that you don't have to go through that painful process. It's really hard to damage boost through these guys. It's just mostly not possible. By the way, just a thing I forgot to mention about Link is that he has a shield. It's that little red line that you can see in front of his face. When you crouch, he kind of holds it down like that. That will block attacks, so he can kind of block his sword attacks like this. We mostly won't be doing that, because as you can see, I just kind of... Oh, I need to crouch there. This will also block most projectiles. Any projectiles we see in this goal. Having the shield will block them. But obviously you lower your shield to attack, so you will get hit. Show me a down stab. Attack low. Attack low. There, and I can block that. Let's see. Okay. Just wanted to show that real quick. Anyway, let's again do our jumping stabs here and move on. Another Stealthos here. Again, they're pretty easy. They take 3 hits, now they have attack 2. Yeah, as you can see, I'm looking at it now, and if you... I might actually get to attack 3 before the boss here, which is pretty funny. Here's another... You can use shield here in this room as well if you want, because there's going to be another Iron Knuckle. But just for the purpose of this, I'm going to save it for the boss. If you die, you get all your magic back, and then you can use shield there too, so... using shield in this room and this room is fine. And then you can just die and get it back for the boss. So one more Iron Knuckle here. This guy's... You actually can... Let me show this real quick. Oh, and as you can see, because there's exactly 12 big enemies in this palace, if you kill all 12 of them, the Stealthos, that Iron Knuckle, this Guma, and that Iron Knuckle at the end of the room, if you kill all 12 of them, you'll get 2 drops. Sometimes you get 200 P-Bags, and that will actually allow you to do some crazy things with leveling up, because it's only a 1 in 4 chance, I wouldn't rely on it. So this guy, you can also push him off the screen if you are aggressive enough. If you're going at full speed like this, and you attack him enough, you can just push him off screen and not have to fight him at all. That's an option. And once we're there, if you do get a red jar off that guy, you can cast shield here again, obviously, which I'm going to do for this fight. So this is Horsehead, the first boss. This guy doesn't really have that much to talk about. All he really does is kind of walk at you and occasionally swing his mace when he gets in range. You cannot block this attack. It will go through shield. If you get him around to the other side, he will follow you this way instead. And as you can see, his armor, you can't hit him in the armor. You have to hit him in the head, but his hitbox is actually really specific. So let's show this. You want to hit him in the head, but even as you can see, like kind of hitting him in the muzzle, like doesn't do damage. His real hitbox is actually his ears and like slightly above his ears. So when we fight Horsehead, we're gonna target him by targeting his ears. So you can either do an overhead swing as you jump, and kind of aim for his ears, or even above. As you can see, I basically hit open space above him, and that did damage. So you're gonna aim way higher than you think you should against Horsehead. I kind of messed up there, but that's okay. At level 212, it's really not too bad. Like, as you can see, I'm not taking that much damage with shield up. You have quite a bit of wiggle room here. As long as you just kind of learn where that hitbox is and get into a good rhythm, it's pretty easy. You can also do it with flying crouch stabs, like I'm showing here. I generally prefer overhead swings here, just because it's easier to reach his hitbox with an overhead swing, but this also works. Whatever you prefer, it's really kind of up to you. So yeah, see, that's an easy fight there. Just go in, hit him once, back up a little bit, and then continue to hit him as you move forward. We actually normally we would go place the gem here and hit level attack 3 that way, but we could just take it here since I actually got to 500 experience. That'll happen sometimes if you get a P-Bag drop. And if that happens, go ahead and take attack 3, and then go ahead and place this gem. And that will give you magic 2 here in this case. And go ahead and take it. Just go ahead and take magic 2 here. In the case that you do get 2 P-Bag drops, they don't give you any red magic jars. They just give you the 200 P-Bags. You actually will be able to take attack 3 before this fight. And then after the fight, you should be able to skip magic 2 and life 3 and actually get attack 4. If that happens, go for it. That is the dream. Getting attack 4 here is so awesome It's only a 1 in 4 chance of being able to do this, and that's only if you go for Candle. If you don't go for Candle, you still won't have enough experience, even if you won't have enough enemy kills to even get 2 big bags, so it doesn't matter. But if you are going for Candle, you may get this opportunity, and if you do, pounce. You'll be able to leave this palace at 412, and that is golden. But if you leave here at 322, or even 312, that's perfectly fine, don't worry about it. Just place this gem. Once you've leveled up, I do recommend leveling up. As soon as you place this gem, as soon as you leave, as soon as this gem, oops, I saved, so I can't show it now. But as soon as this gem leaves your hands, you can up A. It's safe. Don't worry about it. It's placed. But I recommend just waiting it out and taking the level up and then up aiding. That's just you want the level up, obviously. So now we're done with P1. That's finished. And we have the candle in hand. So, now what should we do? So now, let's actually up and do this proper. We have a few more objectives that we could do now. Let's first go south of the palace and get our magic container here. It's going to be in this cave right here. As you can see, I can do an easy walk. This cave is lit up now, we can see. You can see these 2 louders come at us, 3 actually, charge at us. And then these little divots, we've got Octoroks. It's our first time seeing them. So you can see if I crouch here and hold my shield out, they won't be able to hit me. Octoroks are very predictable. They just kind of jump up and down at this predictable pattern. They always shoot a rock at the apex of their jump. So if I just crouch here and then I can stab him. Or you can just jump over them. They're not really that dangerous, so I wouldn't worry about it. This room is possible in the dark. I think that's pretty easy to learn how to do it in the dark, because the enemies here are pretty non-threatening. It's just those 3 guys at the start that you can kind of see them wiggling on the ground. And then these Octoroks and the divots. They're a little bit harder to see, but you can still avoid their projectiles. They are visible in the dark. The reason I don't recommend doing it is that I think that getting the magic container is kind of a marginal benefit at the start of the run. It's going to be a lot more helpful now that we're going to get jump, and that's going to allow us to do. It's going to allow us to do a lot more, especially now that we have magic 2 as well. And getting it is so easy, and it doesn't take that much time, that I would just go ahead and go pick this up. This is something that's totally optional. You can cut this from the run if you so choose. There's no real downside to doing that. Especially speed-wise. But I'm just going to show it to you, and you can kind of make up your own mind what you want to do about it. I don't know why I got in this encounter, but that's fine. So what we do have to do now, we have to go north. This is Trophy Cave here, where we will find the trophy. You can also do this in the dark, but it's a little bit harder. This is a fairly challenging cave to do in the dark, so having the candle is good. Again, I do encourage people to try to learn this game without candle, because getting candle takes about 3 minutes. So if you can learn to do this cave and then the following cave after this in the dark, that's a good idea. But if you can't, I wouldn't worry about it. I would just play this game with the candle, and that's going to be nice and simple. You don't have to worry about this. This cave's not too hard in the light here. That bat can be kind of random. He kind of goes wherever he wants. This Octorok, you just wait for him to shoot his rock and then just jump in and attack him like that. Same for this guy. Don't have to YOLO it. Just wait and get a good pattern here. And here's a Gorilla. This is going to be our first Gorilla of the game. So you can see this guy is quite aggro. Throws boomerangs. They are blockable by shield, but they kind of arc under or over you, so they're kind of annoying. You can jump over his boomerangs like this, but obviously it's really hard. I'm focusing pretty hard to do this. Let's take a death here and do this over again. So again, kill this bat. I messed that up. That's okay. Actually, let's leave this cave and kind of do this properly. Keep forgetting the save state button. Alright, so save state here. The quickest way to kill this guy is to just kind of stab him there. There we go. Then come to this Gorilla. Just get into his face real quick and just kind of get him up here and stab him. If you're stabbing him, he won't throw boomerangs. That's probably the easiest way to deal with this guy. If you're not aggressive enough with this guy, he can kind of get nasty and start throwing boomerangs here. Like, oh no. But if you just get up into his face and stab him a bunch, this guy's pretty easy to kill. Once you have the trophy, you can just up and out of here. I think it's faster than leaving the cave. I'm not confident, but I'm pretty sure it's faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then we're going to go, once we've up and down here, we're going to leave and go to this town, the town of Rudo. Again, there's really only one thing to find here, and it's the jump spell, which we do need to get through through the cave that we're going to go through here. Again, we have life ups here. This woman in the red dress, this old lady in the orange dress here. She will refill magic if you need it, but you're not going to need it, so don't worry about it. But it's there if you need it. So just keep walking left here. The woman here is looking for the trophy. Again, you could just bypass her text box and just go in. Excuse me. We're going to go down here, get the jump spell. Jump will cost 48 points of magic, and this is something worth talking about. It's going to cost 48 if you're at Magic 1, but it'll cost only 40 if you're at Magic 2. As you can see, shield has come down from 32 to 24 as well, now that we have Magic 2. What the numbers mean here, for the costs, each bar of magic here, represented by that white bar in the top left corner, each bar is worth 16 points. So if you cast shield, it's going to take 1.5 bars away. If you cast jump, it's going to be 2 bars, just 32, and then 8 more, which is half a bar. So 2.5 bars. If you're at Magic 1 at this point, shield will cost 32, and jump will cost 48. And that's exactly how much you have. That'll be 80 points, which is exactly how much you have after you get that magic retainer in the cave. So you'll be able to cast each one once before needing to refill or die. But with Magic 2, it doesn't really do a whole lot for us, but since we will occasionally find blue jars, it gives a little bit more wiggle room. So actually out of this palace, you can either walk out of this town after this palace. After this spell, you can walk out of town, or you can up A here. It's actually a little bit quicker to up A, according to Trail Z, and I believe him. You can just up A here and just leave this palace in 1, 2, 3, 4. Walk this way. Again, we'll come back here. And make sure we got our checklist here. We had the heart container and shield spell from earlier. Now we just got the trophy, which we took to get jump, and we have the magic container. That's everything that we need to progress south here and go to the next part of the game, basically. One thing I wanted to note before we move on is that heart container that we got from that path south of Palace 1, you do have the option of getting that heart container after you finish Palace 1. So what you would do is you would skip it, go to Palace 1 with 4 heart containers, beat Palace 1, and then instead of up and A-ing at the end of Palace 1, leave, go south, get the heart container, and then up A. That is the fastest way to get that heart container. It just means that you won't have it for Palace 1. That's totally up to you. I showed us getting it before going to Palace 1 because I figured that if you really need consistency, you'll probably like having that heart container. And it doesn't waste that much time. It's a 45-second time loss to do it before Palace 1. But if you feel that you don't need it for Palace 1, but you do need it for Palace 2, I would recommend attempting to get it after Palace 1. That will save some time. I'm just saying that because we're going to go through Jump Cave here and we won't be back to this part of the overworld. So Jump Cave is kind of notorious. It's a pretty challenging area. This is kind of our first challenging area of the game. I'm actually going to make a save state here. Come back through this. Oh, these guys don't come back. Sorry. That's fine. As you can see, there are 4 Octoroks here. Again, you can go through them quickly, or you can just kind of take them slow, let them, block their rocks with your shield, and just kind of take them nice and slow. Again, if you do this in the dark, you'll have to learn what their positions are. And then as you come to this tunnel, you'll find this Berea. just run at him and just try to stab him. Like, do flying stabs. You can crouch or you can do overhead. It's fine either way. But just get aggro with him. You might get hit. Try to jump over his boomerangs, but you might get hit a couple times. That's okay. If you want, you can use shield here, but you can't. Don't do it twice, because you do need to cast jump at the end of this cave. But you can use one use of shield here, and you can do it in either this first room or the next room. It's fine either way. And again, that is true if you have Magic 1 or Magic 2. Even if you have Magic 1 here, you can still do that. That's fine. So we're going to kill this guy. Again, hopefully you have Attack 3 here. If you don't have Attack 3, that Gorilla will be much tougher to fight. And that's why I really, really urge you getting Attack 3. Okay, next room. We got just Louders here. Again, they'll get in your level and then charge you, but they're pretty non-threatening. Just take them nice and slow. Cast Shield here on this room if you haven't used it yet. I'm doing terribly because I'm just kind of explaining. Again, another Gorilla here. Just fly at him. You can block his boomerangs with your shield. Just keep attacking him. Just keep putting on the pressure. In this room, these bats are very inconsistent and annoying. This guy will turn into a red little demon there and fire a fireball at you. He takes a couple hits to kill, but he's pretty non-threatening. Don't worry about him too much. You have to cast jump to get over this. There's no other way around it. There's no trick that you can use. So make sure that you've only cast shield once up to this point. You can cast shield once, that is fine. We'll be able to refill our magic later. So don't worry about that. That's basically free. Using shield once there is basically free, but don't use it twice. Now that we're out of here, go east and immediately go to this forest tile. There's a fairy here. We'll want to pick this up. Now from here, I would go south, and there's a hidden tile. We're going to get into an encounter here. So this swamp encounter. We got a minor encounter. There's going to be Octrox here. There's going to be 3 if we walk to the left and 2 if we walk to the right. So try to walk to the right. But if you forget and go to the left, that's fine. It doesn't really matter. But it's a little bit quicker to get out of here to going to the right. There's a hidden tile right here. If you can see, it's right here, where I'm standing right here. 1 tile southwest of this boulder. There's a 1-up here. Let's talk about this 1-up, because I forgot to do something earlier. This 1-up is 1 time only for the entire file. Even if you game over, this 1-up will not come back. Obviously, this is going to be really helpful safety for Palace 2 coming up in a bit. But you have the option of doing Palace 2 in 1 or 2 attempts. Or, you know, if things don't go well here by this point, you might not want to pick this up because you're scared or whatever. So after you get the jump spell in Jump Town, aka Rudo, I would recommend actually up-ing and saving instead of continuing. If you save, then you'll be able to go back to that safety save and have this 1-up intact, just in case something goes really wrong here. Hopefully, if you practice this tutorial enough and take all of my advice, you won't need that. But it might come in handy, because it's a marathon. You don't know how well you're going to do here. This is game number 18 in the run, so you might be pretty worn out. You may take a game over in Palace 2, and you'll really wish that you had this 1-up still. So I would make a safety save after getting the jump spell, and keep that in your back pocket. Come back to it if you take this 1-up and game over afterwards, so that you can get this 1-up again in the future. Because if I pick it up right now, it's gone. It's gone forever. There's nothing I can do to get back, except revert to an older save. But I'm just going to pick it up here because I'm not going to do it in the future. I have save states. I don't care. And then we're going to leave, get out of here, just go south, get to this grass, touch grass. This kind of be a little bit annoying. We've got these Megmats here. Jumpy little bastards. Not too threatening. They can do a short hop or kind of a longer hop. Just attack them once they die. Get to this path here. Now, here's a really important point here. So to the north, normally in the fast route, we would go east here and then go north into the swamp and head towards Palace 2. But we're going to take a little bit of a detour here and show you an optional thing that you can get, which is the life spell in the town of Saria. I I'm totally ambivalent about whether or not you do this. This is very, very optional. I want to stress that this is optional, and I'm not sure how much I recommend doing it, but I think that it will give you a little bit of safety if you do it. And, you know, any trick that you can apply here might help you get through this run if you're having trouble with it. So if you really feel like you need Life Spell and that's going to help you, absolutely take the time and go get it. So I'm going to show you how to go get it here. There are two. You have to go across this bridge. There's two different bridges you could take. There's this one at the top, and if you go through here, you have to deal with these flying skullfish dudes. And you can also go around this side. Probably take an encounter on the way. I did, yeah. You might not get this encounter, so I'm just kind of improvising my way through it. Oh, so now that we have our attack 3, there's two different leveling strategies that you could employ here at this point. One is to just save all of your experience and go straight for attack 4. It's 1,000 experience, so it will take you a while to get there. You might not be until nearly the end of Palace 2 before you get there. But attack 4 will make the boss of Palace 2, Helmet Head, take 8 hits to kill instead of 12. Attack 4 is very useful, and that will give you... It will make your offense much quicker in Palace 2, but you won't have it for that long, and you will have to dodge... You will have to bypass these level ups here. The second strategy here is to just hit the life button and get life 3. That will increase our defense a little bit. As you can see, when you level up life, you also get a life refill, which is really nice. We didn't really need it here that much, because there is actually a fairy here if you need it in this forest tile. You probably won't need it, but it's there if you need it. So the second route to go to Saria is to go across this bridge. I think this bridge is a little bit less of a pain. I would go to the top bridge, it's the fastest, and since I know how to get through this flying fish, it is faster, but I think that this is a little bit easier. So if you have trouble with the other bridge, go across this one. You know, just dodge these bubbles on the way, just watch them like you did before. But I'll go back and show you the other one too. We can talk about that one. It's a little bit faster to go that way. So we're just gonna go up here. So these flying fish guys are pretty consistent about where they decide to fly out, that they can come from either the left or the right. You can get hit by them and lose some experience, which is very annoying. You can kill them with one hit. But yeah, you can get kind of overwhelmed by these guys if you're not careful. You can block their attacks. Not much else to say about them. I'm just going to try to go through... So the best way is to try to stab them as they come along. This is kind of hard to do. If they come from behind, just kind of jump over their attacks. If they come from forward, do a flying crouch stab, you can get through real quick. That's the fast way to do it. Try not to spend too much time there. If you take some hits, that's going to be okay. We can recover our life in Saria, so that's fine. So here's the town of Saria. Quick word of warning, don't talk to any of these people here that are walking across the screen. They will turn into bats and sometimes actually do a lot of damage to you. That's only in this town. It's not in the other two towns, but just don't talk to these people. They're evil. Their eyes of Ganon are everywhere, so the person at the start of the town tells you. Anyway, this woman over here needs her mirror. She's looking for a mirror. So she won't let you in and get the life spell in here until you find the mirror. The mirror is just going to be over here. It's in this building right here. It's by this table. We can just skip through this text box. You don't need to read it. You have a mirror now. It's not in your inventory. You just have it. Also, if you go left over here, I'll just show you real quick. You probably won't need these, but if you go left here, there is a magic refill here. You can get a magic refill. There's also a life refill at the other end here. You can get our life refilled. Again, it's there if you need them. Further to the left, you cannot exit the town that way. It is going to be a dead end that will lead to other parts of the game that we will not be going to. Just don't even worry about that. But don't go that way. You do have to come back this way. Unfortunately, like, going to that part of the game, it's going to be way more difficult than doing Palace 2 is anyway, so we really can't do anything back past there. It's going to be way too much time anyway. But we're going to talk to this woman with the mirror in hand, and we are going to get the life spell. The life spell is a very expensive spell, but it will heal 3 of those red bars in our life meter. So that, you know, it's a way to convert magic into life. It's the only way to heal on the fly. There are no, like, items in this game. There's no, like, potions like in Zelda 1 or anything like that. Life spell is it. This life spell is going to cost 80 at Magic 1, which will be your entire bar at this point. So literally if you've cast shield or even been hit by a bubble, you won't be able to cast life anymore. At Magic 2, it's going to be 70, which is still basically our entire bar. We can't really cast... You cannot cast shield and life at this level right now. That's not gonna fly. At Magic 3, it will cost 60, which is still not enough to cast life and shield in the same bar. That's still more than you have. But at that point, if you are at Magic 3, which I don't recommend, but you could end up there. If you are at Magic 3, if you get a blue jar, that will heal 1 white bar of magic. And that will allow you to cast shield and life. But just some food for thought there. If we're going to cast life, we're going to use our whole magic bar to do it. But there are a couple of good opportunities to do this, because we will get a couple of free refills on the magic. So that's mostly why I think that life is kind of a marginal benefit. Because normally I think shield is going to be more useful for us, and we're just going to use our magic to cast shield, I think, is mostly what you should be doing. But life does give you another tool in your toolbox, and if you really feel like you need it, go and get life spell. It's fine. Since we're over here on this other side of the river, we can also go up to this forest tile, if I don't get into an encounter here. And you might as well do this. Just go up to this forest tile, and it's a free 100 P bag. Pick it up. Bam, there it is. You know, you don't really need it. Sometimes these small enemies will drop 50 P bags, by the way, if you kill 6 of them. It's a 1 in 8 chance, though, so don't rely on that. 7, 8 out of the times, it'll just be a blue magic jar. But sometimes they drop P bags. This is worth noting. But yeah, since you're on this side of the river, if you do come this way, again, being over here is super, super optional. I don't even know if I really recommend coming over here, but it's an option. Again, if life spell helps you, come get it, and get this 1 down P bag while you're there too. So we are going to have to come across this bridge again. Again, it's annoying, but and they're all coming from behind, so I'm getting very distracted by these rocks. Here we go. Avoid these forest tiles at all costs. Do not walk into these, please. Please do not walk into these. There are encounters everywhere. These are Bagu's woods. You know, Bagu, he's a guy you have to talk to for progression in the game later, but he doesn't matter in this run. But there's a bunch of encounters that you can get in here that are just surprise encounters. So do not walk into these woods no matter what. Over here, I'm just going to take it on a quick little tour here. You can go east around the swamp if you want. Can't go past this boulder. It's blocking us. Same with this boulder up here. And this boulder up here is also... You can't get through these, sadly. But there's an open cave up here. This is also super, super, super optional. There's going to be a 200 P bag in here if you want it. This room can be a little bit annoying. So if you find this room too annoying, like, just skip it. It's not super dangerous, but it is a little bit annoying. That's all. I agree here. The orange ones, I think, are a little bit weaker than the red ones. I don't remember, though. I think the orange ones also threw less boomerangs, but I won't swear to that. But the difference is mostly immaterial, because they're just going to deal with them the same way. So here's this 200 P bag. I'm going to go ahead and skip magic 3, take life 4. Gives us some more defense. Again, that's our safety strat. We're not normally going to be this high level going into Pals 2, because we won't pick up these P bags. But if you do want some safety, if you want to go into P2 with life 4 already in hand, go ahead and pick up these P bags. That's fine. It takes a little bit of time. This cave really only takes like 30 seconds. It's not that big a time loss. So do it if you feel like you need it. So you can either come in the swamp from up north from this cave. I'm going to show what it looks like from down here too. If you don't do this cave, you will enter the swamp from down here. It's just a little bit faster. You just cut upwards here and go north here. Up to you. I'm going left in this encounter. There's an extra Octorok this way. That's fine. Try to avoid getting a strong enemy in this swamp if you can. Sadly, there's no way to avoid encounters in the swamp. It's just going to happen. You just have to, like, accept it. Even the best players can't avoid encounters here. There's just nothing you can do. But if you can, try to avoid the big encounters, because they will have birds. And the birds are a little bit annoying to fight. I'll show you if I get one here. I keep going the wrong way in this encounter, by the way. Don't do what I'm doing here. Did I get it? No, I didn't. Oh, yes, I did. These guys. This is the strong variation of this fight, looks like. It has birds. Also, there's 2 Octoroks to the left here and 3 to the right, so you want to go left here. It's a little bit easier. But I ended up, like, spawning this Octorok here and he's chasing me. These guys are kind of annoying. They'll sink to your level, and then when they see you, they'll fly at you. So, you know, if you jump up this way, they'll kind of soar over your head. But one stab takes care of them. Not really a huge deal, but they can be a little bit annoying, so try to avoid them if you can, I would say. There is a magic jar down here, but it doesn't really matter, because there's also going to be one at the start of the palace. But it's there, so now you know about it. Yeah, just standing stab the birds is fine, really. Alright, so Palace 2 is here. First thing to know about Palace 2, if you go up to the statue and you hit it in the shield, it will produce a magic jar. This is 100% consistent. It will do it every time. So I'm going to show something here real quick. You can also leave and come back and reset it as many times as you want. It'll just keep coming back. This magic jar is not at the start of Palace 1. Just keep that in mind. It is at the start here, though. So here's something to keep in mind about red magic jars. I'll talk about this real quick. Red magic jars will refill... They refill your magic to full, in essence, but what they're really doing is giving you magic equal to how much magic is your maximum magic. So if I pick this up, it will refill 5 white bars of magic if I hit it right now. So what that means is if it refills to the top, it will stop right there no matter what. But if I hit this, and I'll show you, if I hit this magic jar here, and then I'm try to cast life as it's filling up, I'll get more recovery. So hit it, cast life there, and then it keeps going a little bit after I cast the spell. So that's a way you can maximize how much magic you get out of that red jar. Because if it gets to the top of the bar, it will just stop. But if you cast a spell while it's filling up, you'll get the full value out of it, which would be 80 points for me. So that's just something nice to keep in mind. So if you have life spell here, you can go ahead and refill your life to the top here. Keep in mind, if you want to cast 2 spells in the same room, you have to open up the menu again. So you know, I got my life to the top here, and then I can hit the statue and get another red magic jar. So we could be at full here, going into the palace. That's probably the biggest benefit of having the life spell here, because you probably will take some attrition damage in the swamp. That's normal. That's totally normal to do that. So if you have the life spell, you can recover your life here, and you won't be able to do that if you don't have life spell. That said, you probably won't use life that much from here on out because it's so expensive. But that is that's the main benefit to having the life spell here, I would say. It's just getting this. I didn't mean to reload save there. It's fine. Filling up your magic here. Alright. So now that's done, let's go into Palace 2. So, at the start here, I'm going to go down, I'm going to go past this, we're going to go left here. These guys are not much to talk about here. You just kind of kill them. They kind of walk along the floor, coming at you. They're like Octoroks, so that they shoot a rock at the top of their jump. They also shoot some like while they're walking as well. They're mostly not too threatening though. Just get on their level and just stab them a few times and they're dead. Bubble here, just kind of walk past it. This room is similar to the room in Palace 1 that looked like this, but there's going to be 2 Stelphos here. There's two ways to do this. You can either just go past the left one and fight the right one, and then come back and do the left one. These guys are blue, which means they jump. That's something to keep in mind. It'll matter more in the future, but you do have to kind of kill these guys. So you can either... let me show this properly. Like I said, you could either go past this guy and fight the guy on the left first, or you can kite this guy down here and fight him first, and then deal with this guy. Totally up to you, but you do have to basically kill both of these guys, because you're going to come here, get this key, and then have to fight them on the way out anyway. So don't think about trying to skip these guys, you just want to fight them. But they're pretty easy, they're stealthos. If they jump, they might hit you, but yeah, you'll be fine, probably. They're not that threatening. Now here, if you haven't gotten the candle, or yeah, if you skip the candle, you will have an extra key in this palace. Keys are not bound to the palace you're in, unlike future Zelda games. In this game, keys can be used in any palace. So you'll have an extra key coming in here, and you don't need to go down here. But since we did go the candle route, we do need this key. So let's go down here and show this off. There's a bunch of bots here. That statue will shoot bullets, but pretty simple. Nothing else too sketchy here. This room will have a couple of Goomas. We'll just take them out the normal way. Just wait for that gap and then go through. Stab, 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 stab. I'm going to skip Magic 3. I don't feel like I need it. Magic 3 doesn't do a whole lot for us. It doesn't really cheapen our spells any. I kind of got hit a couple times there. This guy can be a little bit tricky. Let me see if I can do that a little bit better. So let's wait for this guy. Go through. Bam, bam, bam. Skip the magic level up. Okay, wait. That was... this is kind of had to improv this guy a little bit. He's a little bit tricky. I think you can also go over him. You want to jump over here like that. That also works. Keep in mind that jump is a little bit difficult to make. It's kind of like you'll often hit your shins on the floor here and not make it. So you might have to practice just jump a little bit. Like if you jump a little bit too early, you won't make it. Well, I made it that time actually. If you jump like this, you won't make it. Just make sure you... Yeah, see, sometimes I don't make it. It's kind of hard to like explain. It's hard to explain the timing on this jump. But anyway, you can jump over and like that near the key here. You still have to kind of fight this guy on the way out though, because his maces are in the way. That's probably the easiest way to do this. I just thought of this now. I don't usually go into this room. Then anyway, back out here. Jump from the full tile. Yeah, that's probably the right way to do it. You can end up jumping too early or too late. Actually, it feels like jumping at the very edge of the platform is correct, but it's actually not. I took a hit there that I didn't need to take, but ignore that. So now that we have two keys in hand, we're gonna go up, up, and go left where these red pillars are. This is where we go left. Right is a dead end. Just go left here. There's Stealthos here. He didn't jump. I don't really know. I don't have a good strategy for what to do if they jump, but they do. Okay, so this room. We need to talk about this room. I'm gonna go out here and do a save state. So these guys, these floating heads are called Ras, and they're a little bit of a pain. This is the only time in this run that we'll see them. So as you can see, they kind of spawn from the edge of the screen. There's going to be two of them, and they just kind of... You can see they float across the screen in this wavy pattern, and as soon as they hit the right edge and despawn, they come back. So they're just going to keep coming at you. So let's talk about these guys. There's three ways that I can think of that are good to deal with these guys. The way that I'm going to do it in my run is I'm just going to run ahead and just kind of jump over them. That can be a little bit tricky because these bots can get in the way, kind of. I could have done that way better. I could have avoided hits there, but mostly you can just kind of jump over them and they're safe. Let me try that again. Let's just kind of jump over these guys. I'll kill these bots. Kill. And then... kind of avoid them as I open the key there. While you are opening a key door, you are still vulnerable to damage. Keep that in mind. Okay, so the second way to deal with these guys, it's a little bit safer if you do have trouble with these guys. So notice that when you're facing left, they spawn head-on towards you. But if you're facing right, they'll come they'll spawn the other way. There they are. So if you face right as they're going to respawn, you can get them to go your direction, and then you can just kind of walk. You walk a little bit faster than them, so you'll have to kind of keep them on screen as you do this. Because if you walk too fast... oh, it's the screen scroll. I see. I always thought it was the facing, but I guess you're right. Yeah, so if you get the screen scrolling this way, yeah, that makes sense. Right, yeah, I see how it works. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, basically, if you just want to, like, whoops, you don't want to get them going cross like that, that's terrible. But if you get them coming this way, you just kind of walk, just have them be like that. So practice that a little bit. If you do have trouble with these guys, you can do that. The third way to deal with these guys is to kill them. So you can just kind of crouch and stab them like this. They take a few hits to kill. You'll have to get both of them here. Now, once you kill them, they're not gone. But as long as you keep facing left and only scroll to the left, they won't reappear. But if you do turn around and go to the right, they will come back. So keep that in mind. But if you kill them, that's one way to get around them. I personally feel that that's actually the hardest and most dangerous way in this particular room. So I wouldn't recommend it. Just because it's kind of a little bit finicky to get your sword into them. But it's not that hard. It's also the slowest way to do this room. So I wouldn't do this. But if you want to do that, that's one way to do it. So there's the 3 ways to take care of them. Choose whichever one suits you. For the most part, this room's not that bad, but I could see someone having trouble with it. See, you could sometimes take a hit there at the key door if you're not careful. I should have hesitated just a second there. Okay, so that's that room. This room is my least favorite room in the goal, and you're about to see why. This room has bots, and these guys are scary. So see, if you jump up here and they decide to come your way, like if I jump here and I get hit, I'm in the lava, I'm dead, oh no. And these bots do whatever they want. So you're just gonna have to see, even if they're moving left, they can suddenly decide to jump right. They do whatever they want. So you can just kind of wait for them to come over your way and kill them. If you want to be fast, you jump up here and stab them as you're jumping up. But that's hard to do. Like, even I am not super confident about that because they are so random. So the best thing to do is to just wait. Either let them come to you, or if they decide to move left and just leave, that's also fine. They're not doing it here right now. Get this key. Obviously, you're going to need that. So there's no guy there. So this one, there's another bot here. Just wait for him to do what he wants to do. He might either jump to the lava. He won't get over to you, I don't think. I don't think he'll ever jump to your side. But now he's in the lava, he's dead. Then just time this dripper. This will hurt you if you run into it, obviously, but just jump over. Let's do that room again. Just kind of see how it goes. Let's just wait. It's not safe. See, they can jump. They can lurch right so fast. Like, this is not safe. This is not safe. There. Okay. Just wait. And there's just no shame in not taking this too super quickly. Just take it nice and slow. Nice and slow. Okay. So that's that room. Again, just take it nice and slow. You know, don't go super fast here. Careful, those blue drops will spawn a bot here, so be careful about that. Here's another iron knuckle. Just fight them as we normally fought these guys. They're not a big deal. Hopefully they're not a big deal at this point anyway, if you've fought them in Pause 1. There's 2 of them here. We'll kill both of them. Careful that bubble, but if you need to kite the orange iron knuckle to avoid this bubble, that's fine. This is a good room to use shield in if you're having trouble with iron knuckles, because we are going to get a magic, so let's go ahead and use shield here, just for sake of demonstrating this. I'm going to fight this guy. Oh no, I took a hit, but I have shield up, so I took less damage. That's good. This guy actually happened to drop a red magic jar, but let's pretend he didn't. Let's just pretend he didn't do that, because we're going to get a red magic jar coming up here. This bubble's kind of annoying, kind of get in the way. So you might want to be... I haven't actually thought about this, but let's see how we can get this iron knuckle. I got 200 pinpoint, but for some reason that time I'm going to ignore it too. You can kind of kite this guy over without spawning the bubble, barely, and then fight him like that. This room, if you can, so you can use shield up to 2 times before this room. I would recommend that room that we just did with the iron knuckles, and either the room with the Goombas at the bottom or the room with the flying heads are probably the best rooms to use shield here. Use it twice, and then here we can spawn a red magic jar if you hit that gargoyle head there. Again, if you want to... So I don't have enough magic to cast life right now, but if I hit this magic jar and spam the select button, I can cast life and get more bang for my buck here. That's only if you have life spell. Again, if you don't have it, then don't worry about it, but you'll still probably want to refill your magic here if you're using shield. For this bubble, just kind of walk under them. That's going to be our last guaranteed magic refill for this palace. So from here on out, you'll only get magic back if you die. But I would still use it in most rooms that are going to be challenging. So here we're going to go left. Here we're going to need the power glove that is this way. So this guy, see these guys, if they jump, they can be kind of a pain in the ass. But just kind of improv them. It'll probably be fine. So this room has falling blocks. We're just going to try to run through it as fast as possible. I don't really have a great strat here. If they do decide to get high like this, you can use jump and jump over them. Skip this P-bag for now. We'll get it on the way back because it's going to be a little bit safer. Because you'll have the power glove. This room is kind of the room of requirement from Zelda 1 in Palace 5. That room in Palace 5 in Zelda 1 that has all the blue dark nuts. This is this run's room of requirement. Because it's got two red iron knuckles. But we do have something we could do here to make it a little bit easier. So if we go through this room normally, let me show this off real quick. We're going to have to fight 2 iron knuckles here normally. I'll cast shield just to do it, because you should definitely cast shield here. These red iron knuckles, they fight them in the same way you fight orange iron knuckles, they just have more health. Oh, I got the despawn anyway. So normally there's 2 iron knuckles here. But I accidentally got it. I didn't want to show it yet. But if you have a dripper here spawn a bot, just wait for this to drop a blue droplet and spawn a bot here. If you do that, the second, or sometimes first, for some reason, Iron Knuckle will, well, now he's back, because I killed the first one and then scrolled off. But, so that will respawn him now, because there's enough enemies, but, yeah, just wait for a bot to spawn here. Okay, there, it's just always spawning here. Let's see if I can get it to not do that. Yeah, so see, there's no bot spawned here. So I fight this one, and then this guy is also here. But probably better to regular stab the Iron Knuckles than to crouch stab. Yeah, I talked about this before. I'll show the overhand swing too. I already showed it earlier. I personally prefer the crouch stab. I find it easier. But I think most people find the regular stab easier, which is interesting to me. But you could do it either way. So yeah, so if we go to this room and there's no bot spawned yet here, just go ahead and wait for it to spawn. Cast shield while we wait. Just wait for it. There it is. Don't kill it. Let it live. And then kill this guy. And then this guy won't be spawned. Just as long as you don't turn around and walk too far away after you kill that guy. He will be gone, and he won't come back. If you grab the power glove and then come out and leave this way. Just do this again, just to kind of show you. These red iron knuckles are going to be the most difficult enemy that we fight here. Again, if you try to fight him on his level, it just won't work. Like, he just blocks. He is so like, oh, I got him actually. That almost never works. Like, honestly, this guy is super hard to fight. It's ridiculous. Let's fight this guy. Let's get this guy. See, if I just fight him on this level, like, he'll block everything. He's so... Look at this. Look at this guy. He's a master, dude. It's impossible. So you can do this, but, like, yeah, you're gonna take damage. Like, this is... It's so hard to, like, fight this guy normally. I don't even know how to do it, because I haven't practiced this, like, ever. But that's the normal, like, intended, quote-unquote, way to just do this, but don't do this. It's bad. So just do... again, I'll try to do it that people consider the easiest way is this overhand swing. Just kind of stand, go towards him a little bit, and just kind of, again, aim for his visor. We've talked about this, but aim for the visor and kill him. Get this power glove, required item, can't skip this, and leave this room. But yeah, again, try to do that despawn. Just get only one of them in here. Let's just do this one more time. I really want to make sure that this room is, you know... So wait here. Wait for this blue bot to spawn. It may take a few seconds, but it's worth it if you are having trouble with Iron Knuckles. And then now it's spawned, even if it goes off screen, it's fine. The despawn will work. See, he's gone. Grab the glove. We had to fight one of them, and we can leave. So now that we have Power Glove in hand, coming back through this room is a little bit safer because we can break these blocks now. Grab this P-Bag if you want to. It's optional. It's only 50. It's whether that's worth it to you or not. So you can break these blocks. Let's let these stack up a little bit so I can show off the quirks here. They won't fall after they've been placed. They will now hang in the air forever. So you can just kind of wait and let them build up if you want. But usually if you just run through this room, you won't take any damage. It's not that hard. It's not that dangerous. And again, you can always use jump if you need to, but I don't have enough magic to cast jump right now. Never mind, I do. But that's that room. Come back here. Come back here. If you want to, you can save that magic container that's up here, that magic jar that I went past, that I got already. You can save it for after that room with the Power Glove if you want. It's just an option that you have. But I took it as soon as I got there. This room. So this is their first appearance of Moa's. First and only. These guys will kind of fly left, swerve around, go up right, and then start dropping fireballs like that. Big pain in the ass. This room kind of is annoying, actually. This would be a really good place to use shield if you still have it. Magic for it. So you can kind of kite these guys back a little bit. There's going to be 2 Iron Knuckles here. You can jump around the fireballs or just wait for them to go away. I would kite the Iron Knuckle back a little bit so you don't have to worry about fireballs falling on you as you fight them. I'll do this again to show you. So, let's kind of kite this guy back to the left here and fight him back here. I didn't do it very well, but you should also probably cast shield. Again, kind of kite this guy back a little bit. Kill him. You can try to do this room quickly if you want. Here's how I'm going to do it. I'll just show you how that's done. It's kind of hard, though, to do it really quickly. We're going to kind of, whoops, not normally hit that fireball, but kind of jump into the middle of those fireballs if we can. Wow, I did that really badly. I'm sorry. Let me try that one more time. But you probably won't do it this way. So this is kind of hard. I don't know why I'm doing this badly. Don't worry about it. Just play this room normally. Just play it nice and slow. By the way, just in case if you're curious, killing the Moa won't work. He will respawn. I don't even know if you can kill him. I've never tried. I mean, I know you can in theory, but I don't know if you can do it here in this circumstance. Alright, another room here. I should have made a save state, so I'm going to actually do this room over again. Okay, this room is a little bit of a pain too. We're going to have to fight 3 Stalfos here. And also dodge these. Well, we'll take the life up here since we got it. Might as well. You might not be 325 by the end of this palace too, especially if you didn't go down to Saria or get the safety P bags. Normally, like 314 or 413 or even 412, sometimes 315. Those are all fairly normal life experience patterns. Once we get past Palace 1 and have Attack 3, you can kind of do whatever you want with those level ups. It's pretty marginal one way or the other. Just kind of do whatever you feel comfortable with. I'm just kind of hitting the level up button whenever I see it come up right now. I could have waited for Attack 4 there, but I wanted to get life here, so I just decided to do Attack 3 and show you how that goes. So these bullets are annoying. You can block them with your shield, but they kind of come at an angle. It's weird. I actually haven't thought about what the best way to do this is. I guess kind of going forward and like blocking them with like that, but you can get hit anyway. The fastest way to do it is just kind of... Jeez. If this guy jumps over, you can just ignore him too. It's an option. Or fight him now. I'll take that. I'll actually cast... I got a Red Magic Jar, so I'm going to cast Life here. That's something you have the option of doing. Although also casting Shield in this room is a pretty good idea, because you're probably going to take a few hits. So again, I'm just going to try to fight that guy. I did crab stabs there. I'll take the magic up, actually, because that gets me more magic. That's an option you have. So you can just try to jump through. Didn't quite hit it, but you can get... There's a window here to do it. I'm not hitting it, though, because I'm bad. There we go. You can also try to lurch forward and block with your shield. You hit it with your shield like that. That will also work. This is hard, though. I'm always improving this room when I go through it. It's probably the second most finicky room in the game, aside, like in the run, aside from the bot room that we just did. Nothing much to say about this room. There's a couple bubbles here. I didn't do that very well. Stab this one on the way through, or you can just wait for it to pass. You just stand here and wait. That's also fine. Run into that one. Careful, that could spawn a bot if it's a blue drop. We're going past that elevator for now. We have to come back with a key. I did that poorly. That's okay. This room is almost identical to the same one that we saw in Palace 1. It looks like this. Got another Guma here. Wait for 7 maces to go by. Go through that gap. Bam, 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 bam. He's dead. Get this key. A word of warning is that in Palace 1 there was a magic jar here in the statue, but in Palace 2 there is not. That is not there. It will never be there. So just keep that in mind. Don't think that there's going to be one in this room here. Even though it's basically the same room as the one in Palace 1. Only the one in Palace 1 has their magic jar. So now I've done this elevator. We're in the home stretch here. This is... What is here? Oh, Guma. Okay. I always forget about this room. There's so many rooms that look like this. Again, same as usual. Wait for the 7th one, and then kind of... That was a little bit risky what I did there, but that's okay. You're mostly improving on Gumas anyway. So this room is the last room before the boss. So that P-bag, I would only go for it if you think that you're actually going to need it to level up. Otherwise, I would skip it. It's kind of not super dangerous to get, but you can mess up. So just kind of clear out these blocks, and then hit it as you're going down. I can get life 8 if I do this. Just kind of... Yeah, see, this is tough. I actually got my attack cancelled there. And then, yeah, you can also try to get on the lower level first. Clear out these blocks here. Get on the lower level, and then jump out of that attack. And that will help you get out of that quicker. Having that level menu come up actually makes it a little bit annoying to get out of this safely, but totally optional. Grab that P-bag. If you're far away from leveling, you won't need it, because we're pretty much near the end of the palace anyway. So there's an empty stretch here, but careful, there are going to be 2 wolf guys that come up right there. So I actually often forget about these guys and then run into them. So remember to watch out for them. It's actually a little bit hard to hit both of them going at full speed. You can do it like this. Or you can just kind of wait for them to show up. and just stop and hit them like that. That's probably the safer way to do it. And then we're going to have another Iron Knuckle here. Just stand here, do jumping slashes over his sword attacks, like normal. Again, fighting those guys is just going to come down to... it's just going to come down to learning how to do it correctly. That's something that you're going to have to practice on your own. I've pretty much shown you as many times as I can how to do that correctly. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not the last room before the boss. There's one more. I totally forgot about this room. Shame on me. I don't know this route as well as I thought I did. This is a good room to use shield. I'm just going to use it here. Because we're going to find a couple more Iron Knuckles. Yeah, sure. So again, I can cast life here. Might as well. And then fight this guy. We can, again, push this guy out of the room. And he's gone. Here's the boss. This is the end of the game. Last boss. The final boss. So we're going to make a save state here. Obviously, this is why you have shield. So cast shield here. If you're low on health here, but you have another life, you know, it's okay to just take an intentional death on this guy and come back into it with shield at the ready if you come into this with low life or low magic, but you have more lives. Just so you know, the life counter on this menu will say 0 when you're at your last life. So if you see 1 life here, that's your top thing. It's Link's head. It's kind of hard to see. It says ×3. That actually means that I have 4 attempts right now, because I got that extra 1 up in the swamp and I haven't used it yet. It will say Link ×0 when you're on your last life, so keep that in mind. If it says Link ×1, you still have 1 more life. That's just something important to keep in mind there. So yeah, I have shield cast. We're gonna go fight Helmet Head. And I kind of tend to improv this guy. Even I don't really have a really good strategy for this guy. But as you can see, he's kind of like Horsehead, and then he will walk slowly towards you. But he fires bullets instead of swinging his sword. He doesn't use his sword, which is interesting. He also has a hitbox in his head, but it's not as finicky as Horsehead's. It's pretty easy to hit. You can either do this crouch stab like I'm doing here, or you can do an overhead swing. That will also work. So I'd go in here, hit him, try to hit him twice, and then... Ooh, wow, he fired a bullet really fast there, actually. So you can just hit him once and then back up. Your shield will block his shot. So Link 777's strat is to block his shot here, which is probably the best. Then hit him twice. Then block his shot. Hit him probably just once. You could probably just hit him once here and then back off. Hit him once, back off. His flying helmet will come in here and start shooting bullets at you, so this fight will get a little bit harder. But, you know, you'll have to improv it at this point if you're still fighting. Try to just, you know, just kind of go aggro on him at this point. I have life 5. You probably won't have life 5 at this point. I got kind of lucky in experience. But even with life 4, if you have the shield spell, you can take a pretty good beating from this guy. That was bad. So yeah, let's go into this. Wait for a shot, block it, hit him twice. You know, I would strongly recommend getting to this point in the game and making a save state and practicing this. Or, you know, I think that Trail Z linked his boss practice ROM. You can use that too. Fighting this guy, getting really good at fighting Helmet Head here. Once he's at about half health, just go in and just stab him a bunch. Link points out that you should prioritize the boss shots. They do more damage than the shots on the heads, which is a good thing to know. Oops. Bad here. So these shots coming in here. See that boss shot? That almost took a full bar of health at life 5 and with shield on. But if I get... Well, I wanted... Okay, bye. I wanted to show how much damage the heads from the floating heads deal, but he wasn't having it. They just kind of left. Okay, shoot me. No. There we go. Yeah, that did less damage. That did hardly anything, actually. So if the helmets shoot you, that's not a big deal. But the boss shot will deal quite a bit of damage, so avoid that. So yeah, again, so we'll come in, wait for a shot, then hit him twice. Try to not. I did that badly. Come in, block his first shot, hit him twice, back off, hit him once, back off. Just wait for his bolt to come to you. If you miss him, try to back off anyway. Don't worry about these floating helmets. They just don't do enough damage for it to matter. It just kind of overwhelms you a little bit. But once he gets down to about half health, I would just go wail on him. And he'll die. So that's Helmet Head. Pick up this key. Go right. And I believe... I don't remember what the timing for the end of this is. I think you have to wait for the gem to be placed in the Moai head. I think that's when you hit time and stop. It doesn't matter what you do here, obviously the game's over. Yay! You beat Zelda 2, sort of. So I think that's everything. I'm going to try to think about whether or not I missed anything that I should talk about. I'm going to do a run here with this whole route. I'm going to do a real run, actually time it. But I will do the candle route. I can kind of show you... I could show off what those rooms at the start of the game look like when done dark. That might help a little bit, I think, in case you do want to. Because, again, getting the candle takes, like, 4 minutes out of your run. And so if you do feel like you want to shave some time off, that would be a good place to start. I don't recommend worrying about it unless you feel confident, though. If you feel like you just are barely scraping through this game, just go get Candle. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about the Dark Caves. But I will show you what those look like, just for anyone who wants to, like, you know, kind of think about it. So let's soft reset here. And then I will do a run with the Candle route and show what that looks like. So if we start here, so you can go right, down, left, consistent, perfect. So remember, you have 3 of the crawly guys that are going to charge at us. You can always see them coming. There he is, there he is. There's going to be a third one in a little bit. Look for his crawly black pixels. There they are. He's dead. No more of those guys. And then there's going to be Octrox here. As you can kind of see their rocks shining in the darkness there. So you can just look for a way to get through them like this. Easy. Grab the magic container. Up A. I don't really recommend doing that because, again, I don't think the magic container is going to help you that much before Palace 1. But if you do want to do it, that's what it looks like. Jump Cave is going to be a little bit harder. Actually, I can't do Jump Cave, so you need to get Jump first. So I guess I gotta do Trophy Cave. Oh, I don't have my life ups. I reset the game, so I'm back at 1-1-1. So this is actually gonna be hard for me too. Whatever. So go up to this cave. Consistent. If you just walk up 4 steps and then move left. Here's a Trophy Cave. This bat is tricky. If you're at attack 2, he'll die in 1 hit. But I wasn't at attack 2, so he lives. This guy can get really bad when he's... Okay, I'm totally off rails now. This bat decided to go left. Like, he's so far left now. There's an Octrock right here that I keep running into because I'm an idiot and I didn't do this very well. You know, let me just show you this again. This is stupid. One, two, three, 4, left. There we go. So yeah, again, this bat here. There. I kind of improv that. There isn't really... I don't have a good strategy for you. Sorry. I'm not a master at doing this. I just improv it. Knock there. And there's going to be a Gorilla at the end here. We're going to back him into this corner and just mash. Grab the trophy. Epe. We're going to take a quick tour of Jump Cave in the Dark. I will probably be bad because I have 1-1-1. You won't be 1-1-1, so actually let's not do that. You won't be 1-1-1, so that actually won't be a very good tutorial for that. But that's just kind of what caves look like in the dark. Again, if you feel stressed out about doing the caves in the dark, don't worry about it, just get Candle. That's what we're going to do here. as we do a real run. And I'll just kind of put everything together and you can see what it looks like in one go. So I'm actually going to start my timer here. Let's go. So again, remember, hold right as you start this and go out of that palace, holding right immediately. We're just going to hold right, all the way. Well, actually, we'll stay on this road here and go up to the wood tile here. Grab this tea bag. Get life 2. Again, this is optional, but I recommend doing it because having life 2 is just nice. And it won't interfere with our leveling plans at all in the future. And then follow this road down to the town. Now take a nice little stroll through this town. Again, we're going to up A after we get shield. It's just going to be a little bit faster than leaving the town normally. Don't worry about recovering your health here, because you'll just recover when you up A. Talk to this woman. Go inside. Here, you do have to wait for this guy's text box. You can't skip it. But you can, as soon as the menu opens, you can up A. You can actually buffer this. Just hold up A as that menu comes up, and you will get out of it as soon as it opens. Now here you want to hold right, and then do this. Hold right through this. Hold right. That will always be a back spawn there. Just keep holding right. Turn up here, and turn right here into the cave. I messed up there, actually, but I think we'll be okay. Just jump over that guy. You can see his little black pixels. Hopefully I don't get an encounter here, because that was kind of stupid. Yeah, I messed up there a little bit. That's okay. I'm going down this road here. Again, I will not be getting this heart container when I run this, but I'm going this way just to show kind of what I think the beginner route is. Whoop. The hat bubble was a little bit sketchy, so I turned back, and I didn't die. Okay, there, I got that. I got an encounter when I came here first time, but again, I just think it's safer to up A after you get this heart, and go back the same way. Again, it is faster to go back instead of upping there, but this is just safer, easier, stress-free, easy. Again, hold left as you enter this cave, and if you do this perfectly... Ooh, see, I got the closer spawn there. I'm not sure exactly why that happens sometimes. If you haven't lost a frame here, this will be a back spawn. There, good. Palace 1. Get here at about 3 minutes or so after we've done all of our preparations. Got our 5th heart container, got shield spell, and we got the 50p bag for life 2. Okay, go left at the start here. These bots were nice to us, so I just ran under them. I'm gonna avoid fighting this guy at first, come back up and get him on the way back. This key. Sometimes I miss it for stupid reasons. Just kind of kill this guy like that. Again, these guys you can stop and attack them, or you can jump over them, whatever you want to do. Not much to say here, just keep going, don't stop. Right, this guy, again, is easy, just kind of duck under his shield and stab him 4 times. Skip this elevator, keep going to the right. Jump over this bot or kill him, either way. Kill this guy. Skip Magic 2 here. There's fair to the right here, but I'm not going to use it because I don't need it yet. Stabbing more guys. Stabbing more guys. I'm gonna try to get this key quickly. There we go. These guys, the bots take 2 stabs to kill right now, which is annoying. But it's easier than jumping over him. I don't think you can jump over him. Alright, we're gonna wait. 7. There's the gap. Go through. Stabby stab. Mashy mash. You don't absolutely have to kill that guy if he gets up there. You can skip him if you want. You'll have enough experience. So if he does get up to that upper level and you can just grab the key and leave, go ahead and do that. Don't worry about it. Okay. You're gonna have to wait a little bit there. Just hesitate a bit for that guy to jump down the stairs. Again, if you need the fairy now, it's to the right. You can take it now if you want. I don't need it, so I'm not taking it. Oops, that... I got bonked by that bubble there. That's okay. I did lose a little bit of magic from getting hit by that bubble, though, so I only have 1 cast of shield now. So you can kind of stab these guys, run through them as they're stunned. But, you know, don't worry if, you know, you're not super consistent about that. You might take a couple of hits, that's okay. Kill these guys or jump over them as you please. And jump out of that attack to move quicker. At the level up screen just there. So a little bit scary, but it's not really that scary. Got attack 2. And here's gonna be our first Iron Knuckle, but first we got this Guma. Just wait for that opportune moment to strike. You know, Magic Jar. I should have cast Shield here. I don't actually need it, but you should. It's just to set a good example. You should do it there. I got the candle. If you are having trouble at this point in the game and you don't have a lot of lives left, you can up A here and redo Palace 1 from the beginning. That is an option that's open to you once you've got the candle. That'll stay in your inventory forever. I'm not going to do it here, and I'm hoping that you won't need to do it here either. But if you do, that's an option. You can do that. So that's an optional up A point is right there after you get the candle. To get your lives back. You will have to start from the beginning, but it's not that far to get to Palace 1, so... Stab that once, turn around and stab it. You can get to this room easily. Head right here. Stupid bot is just going to do that sometimes. I do need the fairy now, so now I will pick it up. There we go. Go down here. I will set a good example by casting shield here, because this is a good room to do it. This guy's a little bit tricky if you don't know how to fight him, but that's what it looks like when you do fight him correctly. Skip Magic 2. It's tempting. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Again, skip Life 3. Do not take Life 3. Do not take Life 3. Just don't. Like, even if you, like, need it to save a life, I wouldn't do it. Because it's just going to mess up your leveling pattern. You really want attack 3. So bad. I only have 1 more cast of shield, so I'm going to save it for the boss. Again, just to set a good example of what you should do here. Just, you know, again, flying overhead, stab this guy. You can push him out of the room, that's fine. You don't need experience anymore, because I'm at the next 500. That's what I want to see. Again, cast shield here. I'm doing this as a good example. Just kind of, you know, hit him once, and then, you know, back up. You might accidentally end up pushing Horsehead off the screen like this. If you do, just kind of back off and wait for him to come back. Not the world's fastest Horsehead fight there, but it's pretty consistent. Just, again, just learn his hitbox. Learn to stab his ears, or above his ears, and you should get Horsehead pretty consistent. Okay, I'm going to wait here. You could up A as soon as you place the gem, but I'm going to wait for level up, because I want attack 3, and you should too. Okay, level up. I'm going to up A here. Again, now, if you haven't gotten the heart container yet, because you didn't think you needed it for Palace 1, don't up A there. Leave the Palace instead, go south, get the heart container, and then up A. Okay, so now I'm going to go holding right. That encounter is always consistent. Go down here. I'm going to go to Magic Cave. And get this magic container. Now that we're 3-1-2, these guys are really easy to kill. Let's jump over these guys. Again, this magic container is totally optional. You could cut this out of the run pretty easily and it wouldn't change that much, but I think that getting it will help a little bit, so you might as well go get it. It doesn't cost that much time. Now for the required item, up here. Again, go up 1, 2, 3, 4 steps, turn left, then keep heading upwards. You know, deal with that guy. I should have waited, but I did that fast just out of habit. You know, you just wait, kill that guy. Get up to this guy, kill him, grab the trophy, up A. Again, I did that room pretty fast. Take as much time as you need. 1, 2, 3, 4, turn left. I did that wrong, but it's fine. It didn't matter. You have a little bit of room there. So again, your checklist is going to be the magic container. Get the trophy, then go to jump town. Ignore everyone here. So by this point, you should have 5 health bars, 5 magic bars. And you should be level 312 probably. I went past this for no reason. Don't do that. Just talking to this woman in the red dress. Go down here. So we should have 5 health containers, 5 magic containers, and the shield and jump spells now. Again, buffer up and A here, and just reset. It's faster. You can walk out of town there, though, if you prefer. It doesn't take that much more time. If you know, it's up to you, your preference. I did that kind of wrong again, but that seems to be working, so it's fine. Follow the path here. You go to jump cave. You know, I'm here at about 11 minutes and 40 seconds, but, you know, it might take you 12 to 14, 15 minutes to get here. That's fine. Kind of do whatever with these guys. You just wait for them to shoot their bullets and then jump into their faces. Kill Scaria. These flying crouch stabs, or you could do overhead stabs too. I'm gonna cast shield here because I'm gonna get a free magic jar later anyway. Kill that guy. Kill that guy. Now again, even though I cast shield once and we're only magic 1, I can still cast jump here. Uses all of my magic bar. So remember, only cast shield once here, don't cast it twice, just once. Then cast jump here to get out. Get this fairy. I didn't get to the 1-up in time, so I didn't get an encounter here. But it's a minor encounter, so you just had to kill 2 or 3 Octoroks. I'm going to skip that level for now. But I could have taken it, actually, and gotten a magic refill. So actually, I probably should have taken it. I didn't think about that. So take that 1-up, unless you plan to do P2 in 2 trips, which is an option. If you're having trouble with P2, one option you could do is to skip the 1-up there, go get Power Glove, and then reset. That might help you. You know, if that helps you, then do it. You could go across this bridge. I'm doing the faster one. This is a little bit harder. The other bridge on the eastern side of the river might help you if you are having trouble with this room. We're going to go to Saria. Again, going to Saria here is super duper optional. I do not think that you need to do this. But if you feel like you need it, go ahead and do it. So we're going to go past the place. We're going to go into this building. Link says I found a mirror under the table. We're going to skip past that hex box. Go east here. Talk to this lady. Go in. Go downstairs. We are not going to up in A here, because that would we would need to do jump cave all over again. Obviously, we don't want to do that. It's also an option to refill our magic in this town if you want, but we're not really going to need to do that because we are going to get a magic refill here pretty soon. Or you could take magic 2. You could level up to magic 2 as well. Oops, I don't know what I'm doing there. Alright, so let's leave. Let's go east. And since we're here, let's pick up this pea bag. This is super free. Except I got hit by that guy anyway, but whatever. I'll take magic 2 here. Since I took the 100 magic when I had 150 experience, I actually got to keep 50. So keep that in mind in case you do decide to change your mind on what you level up. I'll do the other bridge here just to show it off. Avoid the bubbles as best you can while you kill these guys. Oh, again, this bridge is much safer than the other one, but it's a little slower since you have to kind of walk around a little bit. But this is the safer bridge. Go over here. You can get this ferry. Go north. I'm going to take the path that goes up and around to go to the 200 P bag. Again, as well as, in addition to going to Saria, which is super optional, going to this P bag cave, also super optional. If you don't feel like you need this 200 P bag, then I would skip it and save some time. I'm just going to hit the level up button every time now. Again, you can go to attack 4 if you want. That is a super valid option that a lot of people will do. But I personally just like to hit the level up button and get my life ups here. I just think that's just easier. I don't like to think about attack 4 too much. By getting P bags here, we'll be able to get up to life 5, and we'll have tons of defense for Helmet Head. But again, we might consider saving up for attack 4 too, because we are getting these P bags. That'll give us quite a bit of leeway to take attack 4 later if we want. I would not go to magic 3 though. I would probably just stop at magic 2. That gives us a cheaper shield and cheaper life, which will help. I'm just gonna skip magic 3 here. I don't need it. Keep going through the swamp. Keep going through the swamp. Wait for that guy to shoot its rocks. Whoops, I got hit by that guy. Just keep going to the swamp. I'm taking a lot of encounters here, but again, there's not a whole lot you can do about that, so, you know. Just roll with it. I got hit here a lot. That's okay, because we took Life Spell. So I'm gonna cast Life here, hit this, get this Magic Jar, go on. Okay, we're gonna scroll down. Go left here where the pillars are blue. Wow, that guy was super. Wow, those guys. Wow, super aggro. Holy moly! I'll cast Life here just to take that blue jar, just because I took some damage there. Jeez. Okay. Wow, I did that terribly. Don't do what I did. That was bad. Okay, I'm gonna go past this guy. I'm gonna go past the. Wow. Okay. He's got mad ups, dude. But now he can't jump over me because he's in this tiny corridor. Haha. We'll take the life up there. I could have taken magic to get my magic back. That's also an option. But I took life 4 here. That gives me a little bit of defense. Gave me my health back too. I actually probably didn't need to cast life there. When I did, I forgot that I was going to level up to life 4. That was a mistake on my part. I didn't mean to not think about that. Whoops. I don't know why I got hit there. Again, coming down here is optional. Or, well, not optional. You don't need to do it if you didn't get Candle. But if you did get Candle, you do need to do this. This is not optional. Those guys... Wow, every enemy in this palace is being incredibly aggro. I have never seen them be this aggressive before. So again, we're going to wait here. Here. I missed my opportunity, so I'm going to wait. There. I got kind of snagged on the platforms there a little bit. Here we go. Again, I could... Jeez. Jump over these platforms at the top. I missed, so I got hit. I'm playing this palace really badly. You could do better, I'm sure. That's not sarcasm. I'm sure that you can do better than this. If you're watching this, you could outplay me up to this point. Trust me. Wow! So you'll take some deaths in Palace 2, and that's okay. That's my lesson here. I'm just trying to show you that it's okay to sometimes die to bots. These are very aggressive bots, and they're kind of hard to deal with. Coming back out of that room is actually really tricky. I don't know the best way to do it. That'll be up to you to figure out. So anyway, go up here, go up. If you need to get your life back, you could go back to the start of the palace again if you want. That is an option. I died, so I don't need to do that, but I would have done it if I hadn't died, so... That blue Stalfos, he just jumped over me, so I avoided him and kept moving on. I'm gonna jump over these guys, but again, I showed you other strategies earlier in the video. So I'm gonna do that instead. These bots, just wait for this guy. He's gonna come my way. Yeah, just wait for him. Get this key, don't forget that key. Wait for this guy. Yeah, he's gonna jump off. Keep going. Wait for this guy. Okay. Get through that dripper. That timing can be a little bit tricky, but practice a little bit, you'll be fine. You know, go ahead and cast shield here. I'm going to do it to set a good example. Ooh, I got so I got magic jar. I can't cast life. I'm going to hit it. Spam, spam, spam. Got the life up. Good. Got most of my magic back. I don't even need this magic jar right now. And remember, this magic jar is here, but I'm not going to take it. Actually, I don't know if spawning it might have made it go away forever, but that's fine. But that's where it is, remember. That combo of enemies is actually a little bit tricky, but you just kind of improv it. Kite the skeleton back if you need to. Again, this room, if you need to jump here because the blocks are getting too high. Wow, I actually did get hit twice. If you need to cast jump there if you can. You can't break these blocks until you have the power glove. Keep that in mind. So, actually, did I do this wrong? Fight this guy. I did do this wrong. I spawned this guy too early, so I'm gonna have to fight both of them. But remember what I did before, where you wait for a blue bot to spawn there, and that will despawn this guy. I'm going to fight both of them. I should have done that correctly, and I didn't. Sorry about that. I did not show off the route correctly. But just remember that if you wait there, let a blue bot spawn from that dripper at the start, before you spawn the first red iron knuckle, and then go fight the first red iron knuckle, you won't have to fight both of them. It's not a super huge problem for me, because I'm much better at fighting the Iron Knuckles than I am at avoiding getting hit by the bots. Since I did take some hits here, I'm going to just use life. I will take this P-Bag. When I hit the level up at 800, I can either take Magic 3 to get my magic back, or I could take Life 5. Or I could wait for Attack 4, but I'm pretty sure that moment has passed, since I took Life 4 already. So we're going to down here. Also, again, once you get Power Glove, if you feel like you're running out of lives, you can't get all the way through Palace 2, it is an option to up A there. It will waste time, because you will have to come back through Jump Cave. But you do have that option. That is valid, if you want to do that. I'll take this P-Bag, thanks. And I will take Life 5, because I am kind of getting beat up here. Again, I always improv this room. It's tough. The Stalfos jumps over you, just ignore him, and try to run through. Well, he kind of caught up to me, but... Okay, that works. I think something despawned there, actually, but that's okay. You can jump over that bubble, or hit it. It's fine, either way. Avoid this elevator first. Go right. I'll stab this guy. There we go. I tried to yellow it. It didn't work, but I got through anyway. That was a little bit faster, but I did take a hit. Got the last key. Through here. Back to the elevator. Down the elevator. This room's pretty easy. There's only a Guma here and a bot. I yolded it and it didn't work. Probably won't work, but I tried it anyway. I will take the pea bag just to show it off. I did that weird, but it worked. Remember these guys. Stand here and stab them. Do these. Lurch forward and get this guy. I'm going to level up here and take magic 3, because I can't level up any further than that anyway. We'll hit life here. Okay, that guy just jumped over me. That's fine. Whoops, I just damage boosted that guy, and that's fine too. I don't have a lot of health or magic here, but I will try to fight this guy. Wait for a shot. 2 hits. Block a shot, 1 hit. Block a shot, 1 hit. Block a sweet. I didn't have enough to cast shield either, so I'm kind of in trouble here. Just wail on him. There, he's dead. And that's the run. I did it in about 26 minutes. But it'll probably, if you do all this stuff, it'll probably take you a little bit longer, because I did do this pretty clean, aside from one bad death. There. So 25 minutes, 54 seconds. Again, so this run, there are a lot of optional things that I did. You know, I did use Life Spell a little bit here, so you can see how that does provide a little bit of extra safety, but that is not required. You can skip that if you so choose. Because that takes a little bit of time. Again, getting the magic container is optional. You can skip that, but it doesn't take too long, so I just go get it. Getting those pea bags, you can cut those out of the route if you want. I just did them to show you where they are. You know, even getting the heart container is optional. Getting candle, also, if you want to learn how to do this game with the caves dark, I recommend trying to do it if you feel comfortable doing that. But if you can't, don't worry about it. I just get candle and try to make this run more consistent. You know, if this takes you half an hour or, you know, even 35 to 40 minutes to do it, if you need to make multiple attempts, you know, game over a couple times, you know, that's okay. Zelda 2 is a really hard game. The advanced route, you know, the more advanced route, which skips out all that stuff, skips candle, skips heart, etc., you know, you could do that in like 15 to 20 minutes. But if it takes you longer, if you just need consistency and you need to take this and take 30 to 40 minutes to do this, that's perfectly fine. You just get everything that I showed you, and, you know, have as many tools going in this palace as you need. You can even, you know, grind for experience if you really need it, but I don't think you will. I think that if you can just kind of do everything I showed you, just practice the Iron Knuckles, practice the bosses, and I think that you'll do fine. That's everything I could think of as far as the beginner run of Zelda 2 is concerned. You know, hopefully this helps. I'm not the, you know, the foremost expert on Zelda 2. I just know this game fairly well, and I think I'm good at explaining things. So I did my best. Hopefully that helps you out. Thank you for watching. I know that went a little bit long, but there is a lot to talk about in this game, especially if you go through it point by point. There's a lot to talk about, so hopefully, you know, all that going over every room individually helped. Yeah, thanks for watching.